as it strokes round, down and under, conjure quivering views. No better thoughts could let instruct, to see my member therein tucked, in pinkish labia swollen damp, and heat to match a burning lamp. I find my niche with movement slow, and leave the shrine in rosy glow. Blue song in the heat of summer. A gray summer sky barely restrains its tears. An oppressive liquid weight bears down heavily upon my shoulders. Exposed parts of my body are sweat, wet and covered. This summer's newest mosquito nibblings at my arms and ankles show reddened spots. Itching mounds also from the bites of flies. I believe the ears of the city are poised to hear my sorrow song. Its plaintive melody rushes up to the vestibule of my parched throat. I swallow it down again. I do not feel as ready to be sung. There are mordants and glissandi yet unformed deep within. The need for such blue song put there in my heart by ambiguous instances in romance. My fragile passion lies wounded on both sides of the high fence of my mind, and tenuous and soggy ground inches away from my scarred knees. In the long blue evening cool, early in the long blue evening cool, delicate moisture, wet sound on my face, barely I hear an echo of fluttering things, rhythmic leavings of unseen birds in flight. But on turning, quick spinnings, written and gone. Blown from the bullet corner of my eye, there's nothing to be seen, while what is felt tells another story. Aware of my shadow alone, tall in the purple space and thin, where search silence chases the wind, I hold your impression deep and abreast. The shape is a large and colorful array of minutiae about you, trivialities perhaps, yet large when urgent, a list growing full with thoughts of you, stored to fire the hearth of my daily winters. Often without them, or even with shifted focus, ever subtle distraction, I drift in desolation. Hungry, sometimes pain, always solitudinous, a quiet and patched peace, expanding from moment to moment. Its ether indispensable for enlarging the pilot flame, burning warm and conspicuous inside me, visits my being wholly welcomed. 2. Brown fern against my cheek, velvety tufts of carpet cord, living unto a moist vestibule, a holy place I swear is an act holding forth in sanctity. It is to a wellspring or bottomless chasm, with its unique fragrance defining ecstasy. I can but cover your waiting body with soft kisses, no spaces spare, all response to share. I move warmly into the wind, your welcoming embrace, while my spirit travels through, exploring a myriad of stanzas and open doorways. By this hour of my season, I have with well abundance embossed deeply in my soul. I invite your entire vibrating being, plainly urgent, as you pass passionate movements through space, to come with me together to find, to know every new and vital moment of a newborn universe. Is rolled around to locate the source of light before me or the source of life in me. I must have cried with joy, though suspended upside down, and I turned this way and that, being expected by several pairs of hands and eyes. I must have cried, too, in fear. The warm and wet environment that had nourished me through those months had disappeared, turned inside out, it seemed. I found myself kicking and screaming in a place inhabited by strange new creatures with no apparent connection to the bodies that bore them. Somehow I remember the fear and the crying, 2 uninvited visitors who came along promptly, when those sweet memories of moving in and through the dark and wet channel and out into the light began to fade. Now, from my place in ebbing time, I watch confluent rivers of circumstance. I bathe in them, I celebrate the wondrous waves of their flow. From this place I can feel the torrid heat The cool blue flames from passionate spirits, fanning a burning hot licking out. Here the skins of curious onlookers among them. In this place I move involuntarily to the joyous and sad piping and the strange dances of nature. At times mating while at times hating. It can be tough loving life in that way. From my place I see a magnificent blending of colors, hues and faces, their nuances of difference, described distinctly by dynamically placed aspects. I watch and wonder at the logic and reason of it all. Born of unique circumstance, an indescribable force pulls me to an end. In my patchwork satchel I carry all things accrued along the way. Though they are not always accessible, sometimes they hide in purple shadows when I need them in the place where I am. They were here for sure. I learned from their voices, from the warmth of their smiles, and saw deeply into the small mirrors that showed the fabric of their souls. I could hear the sound of their footsteps when it seemed no one was present, and lingering in the air around me now, an aroma that I somehow associate with their essences, a distillation of their all too brief lives, stilled lives suspended, still wetting the recess of my nerves. I danced with their spirits. I cavort through life, listening attentively to their stories, learning when and where to be cautious in my stepping, or how to be reckless in fun. They teach me to laugh when monetary currency, selfish politic, misguided temperament and ire would hinder the natural ways of seed and harvest, blood and blossom. I can stand up strong against ill winds, knowing that I will be guided by their sensitive hands, the warmth of their hearts and bellies, the cruxes of their messages, and the cogent whispers still emanating from their quieted bones and their roaming spirits. After the Rain, an ode to jazz. 1. Introduction. After the rain, when the moist fragrances of grass, blue bark, and asphalt fill the air, before nightfall, when a fetal moon teases, pale and wanting daylight, and when the sounds of workaday traffic abate, when none but those 2, 3, or 4 stars blink there, high above dark and rising vertical corridors, between slithering urban monoliths, when the wined and whiskeyed hearths of bars flash their neonic appeal, there is a precious lull, a hush, a blue and red or better, a purplish mood, settling in upon the town, seeping here and there through the cracks, and graffitude walls hovering heavily around the souls of moist and mellowed folk. It is a jewel of a moment, a time stilled by the memory and invention of melodies framing the essence of life. It is the hour of jazz. Chang, 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 a chang, chang, chang. Boobly doodly ah, shooby, boobly ka-chang. Boop, boop, bip, shooby, chang, ka-chang, chang. 2. Prelude. A mighty tenor saxophone wails, weaving its magic through the gentle folk huddled closely in the shadows, melodious threads from the golden yellow surface, strung across centuries and chasms, stitching together, interstices still apparent. Between some, a passionate thrust, the song line finds the weighted centers of any who can hear and lifts them high and far, beyond the concrete reality of manufactured mass. They float on the carpet of air, first introduced to this space, this moment, through the essence of that golden horn. The player bold enough to dare, wise enough to care, cocky enough to stare, while urging on his infectious sound, up and out and over to, and through and down and all around until the core of each soul is stroked, soothed and coaxed with a new energy into a posture of surrender. All is given into this welcome coercion. Chang, 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 chang a chang, chang a chang, chang, boobly doobly ah boop ship oop ka chang, boop boop beep shweep, chang, chang, chang. 3. Theme. Here and there, the soft and invisible flutter of a bird's wings by my ear. I feel the kiss of colorful feathers upon my earlobes. I allow more. All bitter edges, all hard urban lessons, abandoned to the care of this music, to the abstract but real logic of sound. A mix of joy and elation pours into my open pores. Sad and blue flecks of pain and sorrow complete this wondrous amalgam. In the hour of my inauguration, I knew what lay ahead. I was pledged to taking the 2 steps to beauty. With that frame of mind, I set myself to a lifelong task that would teach me the references, the perception and the appreciation for fathoming a perfect order of things, an unshakable cosmic aesthetic, true and adductive and whole, and towards the gravity of a central continuum. Mind you, I know who history claims to have set the terms for taste. They are the wearers of the cloth and the slothful possessors of the coin, both sitting by with watering mouths, watching over calloused hands working, passionately acknowledging and celebrating the 2 steps to beauty. The first step, on the ground where few are invited to tread, where few find the courage to tread, is where there is to be found a surprising offering of fruit, grown in soil originally perceived as barren. Truly, we cannot know the sweet taste of the harvest unless we plant the seeds deep in the bosom of this fecund earth, nor can we obtain those seeds unless we shake them well to the ground from saplings already grown within and around us. The second step is consequent and descendant from the first. It is the taking of honest inventory of place and purpose. It is the critical shaping of newborn substance, matter emanating from the soil of earlier treks through the lands inside and out. It is that second and final step, legitimate progeny of the first, that heralds the dawning of new days for dwelling in the domain of nascent beauty, an arena of righteous logic and order, a space not just for the clothful and the slothful, but a realm where the deserving masses can breathe together, there but for a while, until the 2 steps to beauty are taken anew. First words of love. There could be thunderous dark clouds rolling, challenging levity with an ominous motion, verbal tremors literally leaping up from pseudo-sacred urban ground, chatter talk from all those mouths eagerly putting their points across at once, brown sparrows cavorting in fun, exercising their tiny syringes, and sun-strewn grasses and tree branches all around me, the cacophony of life. A multi-rhythmic pulse, breathing beings, machinery belching and sighing in dying moments, their metal fatigued beyond capitalist use. Even then, inside me, points indescribable, places unmentionable, levels deep and shallow and hidden, concealed from everyone's eyes, obscured from every sleuth of the mind. Even then, perhaps only then, do the words come to me, and they may come as dark clouds rolling, or as easy as the gentle whispers of spring breezes. But they come in your text, as plain and simple and unadulterated as primal sound waves, crashing in with great force upon my heart when silently flows the spirit wind. Behind their moment a feathery strand that I must grasp, first to see, then to tie them one to the next. For the sense of it all, the sense, a vague notion, locating reasons for their appearance. To know why, then, from among the millions of other possible sounds, have seized this moment for the Renaissance, taken the stage again and maybe for the last time. Who knows but they? I sense that they know whether or not they will be my last, or my first, and if they will coalesce as trivia or pretend utmost importance. I look for their value, examining all those places between letters and words, searching desperately to feel, to be certain that they present who I think I am. Some are words first taught me by parents who knew and spoke them, under the watchful countenance of the heavens. Perhaps I heard them first in wedded bliss, in a dark and swollen chamber, resonant and replete with expectant energy. Someone whispered them into my fetal ears each night and offered soft touch to punctuate their meaning. Those first words were surely words of love. They entered smiling and have stayed warmly within forever. Long past the times when I learned words of malignity,
with their contours as brickbat and slander, or through and far beyond their having been poured into dour molds, to become verbal bullets and cannonballs. Those first words of love have fed me, sustained my soul, for as long as I have walked upright and have breathed in the finite wisps of air allotted from